bantembereje bangeze n'aha za Kigali niho kuba kugeza uwo munsi.
Courage does not always roar. Sometimes it's a quiet voice at the end of the day that keeps whispering, "I'll try again tomorrow." The only guarantee for failure is to stop trying.
Tukakuzira Eric mfite imyaka 22 niyo mfite.
He is called Eric, a man that was born with one leg, and this turned his life into something that he did not think about in the first place. The leg has half of the thigh bone, and according to what he says, it cannot be cut off. The doctors told him that it would be so dangerous to cut it because it has some muscles that would affect his life once they are tampered with. They may also kill him, and this is one of the reasons why they never tried out treatment on Eric. This means that he cannot use the prosthetic or artificial legs because the disabled leg has to be removed in order for this to happen, which is not possible. He moved from the village to the city to meet more experienced doctors to see if they could do more. We visited Kwizera Elik that lives in one of the slums of this city. He lives in a single, small and dirty room. He was happy to share his story with us and the rest of the world, from where his life started until where it is now. Eric says that he was born in a far village that is a very long distance from here. Unfortunately, he was born like this, but since he was a child, he did not notice that he was disabled in the first place. He kept on crawling on the ground while playing with other children. As he was growing up, he noticed that other children have both legs, which was not the case with him. He went and talked to his mother and asked her why he was different. His mother had to tell him the truth about his condition.
Anje nageze mu myaka 8-10 nanjye kumenya ubwenge nibwo nasanze nyine meze gutya ndabyakira.
She told him that this is how he was born and it is what made him special. Well, it was not something very good, but the only way to go was to live and accept the fact, and this couldn't be changed at all. This was how he was going to spend the rest of his life. Obviously, it was not easy for him to accept this in the first place. It took him a lot of time to learn to live with this, but as a child, he later got over it. His friends kept on talking about his disability. This always made him cry and made him ask why this was happening to him. In the village that he grew up from, they did not have a lot of schools. The few that were available were in a very far distance, and he couldn't make it there on a daily basis. Since his family couldn't afford a wheelchair for him, this means that he never went to school. One day, he went to one of the village hospitals so that he could ask about his condition. He did not have money at all to pay, but he just wanted to have hope that anything could be done about the way he was born and he could look a little bit better. The doctors told him that they could give him artificial limbs that would help him in terms of walking, but they were very expensive, and besides that, he also had part of his leg that was supposed to be cut off so that the artificial one could fit. It was very expensive to pay for this surgery and the artificial leg. There was no way that he was going to ever afford to pay for it because he came from a poor family and he was also poor as well. But he had got the hope that he was looking for. One of his friends that were in this village told him that there are organizations that help disabled people in the city just like his and even more worse. This was when he got the idea of coming to the city. He asked some money from friends and family that was supposed to be used as transport so that he could get to the city. Because according to what he had heard, it was a perfect place for him to get help and hope that something would be done about his condition. Once he got the money, first thing in the morning, he was on the bus to the city. When he got there, it was a very happy moment for him because according to what he says, from the time that he was born, it was the first time that he had ever been in a city before. He tried to look for organizations that help disabled people just like he was told in the village. Fortunately, he found one and felt like this is what he had been looking for his entire life. They took him in and started carrying out tests on him to know what his condition was exactly. They also said the same thing. Part of his leg that was supposed to wear the artificial one was supposed to be cut off, but again, it had some muscles that couldn't be tampered with and would end his life. He knew this because it's what he was told in the first place. He then asked what could be done about his condition. They gave him clutches and they said that this was all that they could ever do for Eric. They sent him back home, but he did not go back to the village and he hoped that something more could be done. Honestly, walking on clutches made his chest, shoulders and ribs hurt every time that he tried walking on them. He had to go to the hospital to find out what was happening to him this time. Using them on a daily basis was going to make his life even more worse than it had been. He was also told to let it go and live without them if he wanted a healthy life, and this was also shocking.
Nazigendeyeho imbago zirananira neza aho ngo nkumva bene gutya bene bitugu nkumva aho nga kugira ngo nzimenyere aho nga ziratuma numva meze nk'umuntu uri kugagara. He told his mother about what was happening to him, and she also advised him to let the clutches go and look for a better solution, and this is exactly what Eric did, though he did not know where he was going to get the help this time. After a lot of thinking, he realized that he needed a wheelchair. It was very expensive and he did not know how he was going to get the money that he was going to use to buy it. He later got an idea and this was going to get him some money. Since he was in the city that was always crowded and he was disabled, he started begging for coins from passers-by and he was saving them. According to him, he gets few and sometimes no coins. But however little they are, he saves them. He has plans of saving this money until it is enough to buy a wheelchair for him, though this may take years according to the money that he keeps getting on a daily basis. But he has no other choice since everyone refused to hire him for a job because he is disabled. What Eric wants now is a wheelchair. He hopes to go back to the village when he gets it because life in the city is very hard and difficult. He lives in a small room and getting food is almost impossible when you do not have a job. The funds that will help Eric get a wheelchair will be donated via GoFundMe. A link that is in the description of this video and pinned in the topmost comment by Afrimax English. It doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Thank you for watching. My name is Prince. This is Afrimax English. Do not forget to subscribe.